Used to think home was somewhere you could find a little road, a little room, a light left on at night. But some things you only understand after you've lost them and found them again. I walked that old road Sunday morning, past the shop where we used to meet. Same blue gate, same angle hanging, same old dust beneath my feet. I passed the house with the broken window, where the children used to play, and the church bell rang across the rooftops just the way it did those days. But nothing held me like it used to. Not the street, not the sea. I was looking for a place called home before I understood what I needed. Then your voice came through the doorway, soft as rain against the zinc, and the whole world seemed to settle before I even had time to think. All those goodbyes, all those letters, all those nights I stayed awake. Every mile between us, every promise we would make. Every rainy morning when I thought we'd lost our way, somehow brought my heart back to your doorway. Home was never the front door, never that old street. Home was never the little town where everybody knew my name. Home was your voice saying hello. Home was your smile when I came near. Home was the warmth inside my chest when I knew that you were here. Home was your hello, my love. After all those lonely years I spent so long looking for a place, home was always here. Now we walk without a hurry. You reach for me like it's always been. No grand promise in the moment, just your shoulder brushing against my skin. You laugh because I tell the same old story. I pretend that I don't mind. Then you stop beneath the almond tree and say you always leave that part behind. We talk about the little things now, what we're cooking, how the day's been, who forgot to close the window, who left the radio playing. And sometimes while you're talking, I just watch your face and smile, because the life I thought was waiting was the life we've lived all the while. No fireworks across the heavens, no music calling from the sea, just your hand resting inside my hand and the quiet of you next to me. Maybe love was never easy, maybe that's what made it true. Maybe every road I wandered was a road that led to you. Every tear I couldn't hide, every night I prayed alone, was teaching me that home is not a place you build with stone. Home was never the front door, never that old street. Home was never the little town where everybody knew my name. Home was your voice saying hello. Home was your smile when I came near. Home was the warmth inside my chest when I knew that you were here. Home was your hello, sitting on the roof. I stood beside that little window, trying not to ask the truth. Your suitcase by the doorway, your hand upon the handle, and I watched the headlights disappear like a candle losing flame. I thought home had gone with you then, thought the walls would hold your name. So I learned to sleep with silence, and I learned to smile again. But love has ways of crossing water, ways of finding what was true. And after all the roads between us, I found my way back home to you. Now when rain falls in the evening, I don't hear the old goodbye. I hear you in the next room laughing, and I thank God you're inside. Sometimes we spend our whole lives searching for somewhere we can finally breathe. We change our towns, we change our dreams, we chase the things we think we need. We think belonging has a doorway, we think it has a street and name. Till one day somebody holds your heart and nothing feels the same. Then you realize it wasn't the house, it wasn't the town, it wasn't the road that brought me back. It was you, it was always you. Home was always you. Home was never the front door, never that old street. Home was never where I came from, it was where you welcomed me. Home was your voice saying hello, and your arms saying stay. Home was finding peace beside you at the end of every day. Home was your hello, my love, the sweetest thing I've known. After every road and every rain, I finally know. The evening wore a velvet sky, the music filled the air. You reached your hand toward mine again, like it had always been there. The old band played so quietly, every note felt true. The room disappeared around us, till all I saw was you. No more running, no more waiting, only this heartbeat keeping time with yours. One last slow dance before tomorrow starts. Hold me like the first hello still lives inside our hearts. Let the world keep turning, we'll let this moment stay. One last slow dance before we dance through every day. You whispered thank you for believing, even when I lost my way. I smiled through quiet, happy tears. I never stopped, I'd say. The stars leaned close above us, the night became our song. Love had crossed the deepest waters just to bring us home. Every goodbye led us here, every silence made us hear the truth we'd always known. Love never left, it simply waited. One last slow rested your forehead against mine and quietly whispered, let's stop calling this our second chance. This is our forever. The Female flute closes with the album's signature melody as the night settles peacefully, leading into break 13. Was your hello? Felt a little lighter, like the sky had learned our names. Even every little footstep didn't sound the same. You pointed to the little cafe where we used to hide from rain. The owner smiled the moment we walked in again. 2 cups waiting on the table, just the way they used to be. Some places never lose the love they get to see. Then you laugh, the kind of laugh that reaches every quiet place. I realized I'd been missing more than just your face. I found you laughing like the years had stepped aside. We wandered through familiar streets without a single plan, talking like the days apart had never truly began. You teased me about the way I always sang before I knew the words. I answered with the same old smile that made you laugh first. The breeze carried a distant melody. Someone nearby was playing our favorite song. Neither of us needed to say why. We simply walked along. Some hearts don't need perfect with you. As the evening settled softly, you stopped beneath the old mango tree. You reached into your pocket and brought out the tiny folded paper you never opened on the night we first met. You smiled and whispered, I think it's finally time. I think it's finally time. Voices drifting through the square. Every road I used to wander somehow led me back here. Women smiled behind their baskets, children laughed along the way. Even all the little sparrows seemed to know this was the day. My heart was beating step ahead. Hope was writing words I hadn't said. Market morning promises carried on the breeze. Every little prayer I whispered danced among the trees. If love remembers where two hearts began, then every road before today was part of a greater plan. I reached the old familiar corner where we first stood in the rain. Nothing there had really changed, yet nothing stayed the same. Mango leaves were gently swaying, like they recognized my face. I closed my eyes for just a moment, then I felt your presence. I turned around, there you were. No rushing words, no grand display, just one quiet smile worth every day apart. Market morning promises never fade away. Even when the seasons change, love can find its way. Every mile between us brought us closer still. Some promises are patient, and patient promises fulfill. I smiled, and together we walked toward tomorrow. Came in before the dawn, leaving silver on the shore. I wasn't searching for your name, not like I had before. The market woke with quiet smiles, fishing boats kissed the sea, and someone called across the road, "There's a message here for thee." My hands began to tremble before I broke the seal. Some memories never disappear, they only learn to heal. The wind grew still, the waves slowed down, even the gulls circled without a sound. Then I heard you, your voice crossed the harbor, found every hidden part of me. Like the tide returning home, you became my melody. Every mile we carried melted with each word. Hope began to breathe again when your voice crossed the harbor. You wrote, "I've counted every day since we walked beneath that rain. Not one sunrise passed my heart without whispering your name." I closed my eyes and smiled, though tears began to fall. Love had traveled farther than I ever knew at all. The sea had kept our secret, the sky had watched us grow. Sometimes hearts stay faithful long after people go. No angry words remain, folded your letter carefully. At the bottom you had written, meet me where we first believed in us. I smiled through happy tears and began the journey home. Morning found the streets awake, but something felt untrue. The city kept on moving, yet every thought found you. The market called my name, the taxis rolled on by, but every smiling face I met still asked my heart why. Sometimes love grows quiet, not because it's gone. Sometimes life keeps pulling two faithful hearts along. When Kingston fell quiet, your voice still filled the air. Every little memory reminded me you're there. The miles could never steal the promise in your eyes. Love was still breathing, just wearing a new disguise. Your last little letter stayed folded by my bed. I knew each line by heart without a word being said. I traced your careful handwriting, smiled through every page. Some stories bloom in sunshine, some grow stronger with age. The evening brought the rainfall, soft upon the roof. Every drop kept whispering that love still needed proof. So I lit the porch light early, though you were far away. Hope has its own language when words have little to say. If tomorrow finds you smiling, I'll thank every winding road. If tomorrow keeps us waiting, I'll still carry this hope, because real love doesn't measure time, it simply remembers. When Kingston fell quiet, my heart still sang your song. Even in the silence, you were where I belonged. The stars above kept shining, the sea still kissed the shore. I knew this wasn't goodbye, just love asking for a little more. When Kingston fell quiet, I finally understood. The strongest hearts grow deeper through stood still. Could it really be you? Sunday put on its finest clothes. The church bell carried across the road. I wore the smile you said you liked, but every passing minute felt a little longer. The coffee cooled, the flowers waited, so did I. Every taxi that slowed nearby made my heart stand up inside, then drove away, leaving only quiet streets. Sunday passed us by like a slow goodbye. I kept your place right here beside mine. Maybe the wind changed all your plans. Maybe tomorrow will help me understand. Until then, I'll keep believing some hearts are right, even when footsteps don't. Mama touched my shoulder, softly said, "Child, sometimes life keeps good people longer than they mean." I nodded, but questions always sound louder when love is learning patience. The old radio played our favorite song. I couldn't finish singing it, not today. I wasn't angry, only wondering, how can one empty chair feel so heavy? Sunday passed us by, but hope stayed behind. Love isn't measured by perfect time. If your road was longer today, I'll still be here when the sky turns gray. The porch light knows what my heart believes. Some promises simply arrive a little late. As evening settled, a bicycle stopped outside the gate. The rider handed me a folded envelope, no name, just one line written across the front. Please don't stop waiting. Sunday wore her finest dress. The morning smelled of bread. I held my little nervous smile with all the things unsaid. Your gate was open wide for me. Laughter filled the yard. Every welcome felt so easy. Every heart beat soft. Your auntie hugged me close and said, "So this is who we found." Before I spoke a single word, love was all around. Children chased the afternoon. The breeze moved through the trees. Someone called us both inside. "Come meet before it cools." The song auntie played made the whole room sway. Every smile around the table carried fear away. I wasn't just a visitor, I felt like I belonged. The house remembered happiness inside that simple song. Old photographs line the wall, stories in every frame. You pointed to your younger days, laughing at your face. Your mother poured another drink, then quietly took my hand. She whispered, "Take good care of him. He loves with all he has." I looked across the room at you. You smiled without a sound. Sometimes hearts make promises before the lips do. No fancy words, no grand display, just honest people sharing one beautiful day. The little moments stayed the longest. The song auntie played still echoes in my mind. Every note became a memory too gentle to leave behind. I found a place beside your heart. You found a place in mine. What started as a rainy day now felt like perfect time. The song auntie played will always lead me home. Whenever life grows quiet, I'll never walk alone. Love arrives so softly, like evening afternoon. It didn't ask for permission, it simply filled the room. As the sun slipped behind the hills, we walked slowly toward the gate. You reached for my hand for the very first time. Neither of us let go. Then you smiled and said, "Next Friday, there's somewhere I'd love to take you." Sunday found me before the morning light. I pressed my favorite dress, hoping everything felt right. Mama fixed my hair, then held my hands a while. She whispered, just be yourself. Love begins with a smile. Outside the breeze was gentle, the road was washed so clean. Even little flowers looked brighter than I'd seen. Every little heartbeat learned a softer sound. Funny how one promise can turn the whole world around. Sunday wore your smile long before you came. Every hopeful prayer started calling out your name. The sky looked new, the world stood still. I never knew a quiet heart could feel this full. Sunday wore your smile, and I wore mine too. Your mother hugged me warmly before a word was said. Your father pulled a chair beside the table where we sat. Children laughed outside, running through the yard. Every face was kind, making nothing feel too hard. The food, the stories, the music from the radio, somehow every moment felt like somewhere I belong. You looked across the table only for a second, but that single glance said more than 1,000 conversations. I quietly thanked heaven for ordinary days that somehow become unforgettable. Sunday wore your smile long before you came. Every hopeful prayer started calling out your name. The breeze sang low, the hours flew. Home became wherever I stood with you. Sunday wore your smile like a dream come true. Sunday wore your smile, now my heart believes love can grow in little moments no one ever sees. If tomorrow changes, if seasons rearrange, I'll remember this Sunday that quietly changed everything. Sunday wore your smile, I'll carry it always. As we walked toward the gate, your grandmother smiled and called my name. She slipped a tiny folded note into my hand. Read this when you're alone. I looked at you, you smiled, as if you already knew what it might say. silver sky, the clouds hung low and slow. I almost thought you'd stay away with all that rain to show. But there you were beside the lane, holding one umbrella high. You smiled before you spoke a word, like sunshine found the sky. The raindrops played on every zinc roof, keeping time to hearts still new. You said, come closer, there's room for two. Somebody saved your seat right here beside my heart. Before we knew each other's names, it felt like we'd never part. The rain kept falling softly, but love was standing still. Every little step beside you felt like home, until the clouds forgot to cry and the morning learned to smile. Somebody saved your seat, I've known it all the while. We found a little corner shop with windows warm and bright. The owner turned the radio up to fill the rainy light. We laughed about the smallest things, stories from our younger days. The hours slipped like drifting leaves in quiet, easy ways. No grand promises, no perfect plans, just two hearts listening carefully. Sometimes forever begins that way. Somebody saved your seat right here beside my heart. Before we knew each other's names, it felt like we never part. The rain kept falling softly, but love was standing still. Every little step beside you wrote a dream we both could feel. The clouds forgot to cry and the morning learned to smile. Somebody saved your seat, I've known it all the while. Somebody saved your seat long before this day. Maybe every winding road was leading us this way. If tomorrow brings more rain, we'll dance instead of run, because every storm grows smaller when two become as one. Somebody saved your seat, now I'll save one too. Every road feels warmer walking home with you. The rain finally eased. You folded the umbrella, looked at me, then quietly asked, would you like to meet my family this Sunday? I smiled. I thought you'd never ask. said some hearts arrive before their footsteps do. I smiled at words I never understood until an evening dressed in quiet blue. The market closed, the children laughed, the breeze rolled slowly through the lane. I wasn't searching for forever, I was only walking home again. Then I saw you by the old front gate, smiling like we'd met before. No grand entrance, no borrowed lines, just kindness standing at my door. The radio played from somewhere nearby, the sky wore gold before the night. Something deep inside me whispered, don't let this moment lose its light. The porch light waited long before you came. Maybe love already knew my name. Every little breeze carried hope to my door. I smiled without knowing what I smiled for. If tomorrow never hurried, I'd stay right here tonight, where the porch light waited and everything felt right. You asked if this was where I lived. I pointed to the flowers on the fence. You looked at them as though they mattered, like beauty didn't need defense. We spoke of little everyday things, Sunday dinners, songs and rain. The little shop with music playing, old familiar streets we'd walk again. With every step the silence softened, every laugh felt warm and true. Some conversations change your life without announcing what they'll do. The daylight slowly slipped away, evening wrapped us in its glow. Somehow standing next to you already felt like coming home. The porch light waited long before you came. Maybe love already knew my name. Every little breeze carried hope to my door. I smiled without knowing what I smiled for. If tomorrow never hurried, I'd stay right here tonight, where the porch light waited and everything felt right. Morning couldn't come too slowly, every hour wore your smile. Even simple moments sparkled, making every road worthwhile. You brought a ripe mango in your hand, said I thought you'd like this too. I laughed because you somehow guessed the little things that made me me. We walked beneath the swaying trees, listening more than speaking loud. Love was growing in the quiet, never needing to be proud. The porch light waited through the fading light, holding on until the stars were bright. Every hopeful dream found a place to belong. reached the end of the little lane. Neither of us wanted to say goodbye. You looked toward the clouds and smiled. It might rain tomorrow. I smiled back. Then I'll still come.